Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
We do have a little bit of Friday night energy going on right now.
We do.
This is a new energy to the space.
It's a little bit of a trickster vibe.
It's kind of like we're having a big party, you know?
It's a little like I'm scampering back upstairs and it's like, my mom said that we can order pizza. So like, what do you want?
Right.
Energy.
Yes. Yeah, big sleepover vibes, you know?
We would kill each other in a sleepover. Are you fucking kidding me?
Okay.
There's no fucking way.
I'm trying to have a little bit of fantasy, you know? I'm trying to play in the space a little bit.
POV, we have $20 for pizza, and then we're going to Blockbuster in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
Right. We go on little scooters. And
oh my god.
Little razor scooters.
Yes. Honestly, that's my... If I could just go back to those days. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because in the Blockbuster that we had in my neighborhood was right across the street from a 7-Eleven. And so you could just, on the way back from, like, walking to Blockbuster, you could get a fucking $1 Slurpee.
That's the dream, yeah.
And it was, if you got the $1 one, like the small one, it was just long enough to last the walk back.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, man. If I that's the fantasy. That's where I'm at in my brain space.
Right. When I think of my happy place, my mind palace, if you will.
It's those greasy-ass Blockbuster VHS tapes.
Yes.
And how, what I understand now is a Blockbuster that always smelled like weed.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was always musty, you know?
Right.
That's the vibe.
That is the vibe. So welcome to space. That's the energy
Hello.
You should be guiding yourself with.
Yes. This is also coming out during Halloween. So welcome.
Spoopy.
A spoopy time. I mean, this is a spoopy show. This is spoopy times. We're here for it. So hello.
The all the stars are aligning. It's all coming together.
Exactly. It would only be appropriate to talk about Halloween on a show that talks about cryptids. Sort of. So.
Yeah, tangentially. Yeah.
You know, and other stuff. So, wink. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I have a very, it's like a very basic happy thing.
Hey, welcome to Into the Basic.
Into the Basic. I'm putting my, Christian girl Autumn vibes here. She's here. I want to give a shout out to reading.
Okay, fuck yes. We're bringing back BookTube. Let's get back to our roots.
We're bringing back books. Books are cool. I kind of forgot how sick they were. Because I, famously was pretty good at reading. And then I stopped because mental illness, love,
Yeah. It's okay to not be illiterate.
Right. But I have been finishing books
for
the first time in a hot minute.
Okay, first of all, goals.
Thank you.
Legitimately, because I get so much dopamine from just like having books near me.
Right.
And I'm like, yes. And just like opening them and being like, yes, like this is my collection of books that I'm going to read someday. The idea of finishing one sounds so nice. And satisfying. But that's hard. Like that takes dedication, especially if I'm not going to be who I usually am, which is like I'll read one in one sitting.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's not always sustainable.
And I'm like a big read on while I'm going somewhere, like a public transportation or a plane situation. So being on a plane, I was like, hell yeah, I can read books and not be distracted by anything else.
God bless.
But we're here, reading fundamental.
We say that as we literally have been reading on the show for 5 years.
I know, but this is garbage. This is trash. I need something else consistently that I'm reading that is not vampires. I need something.
Raises you up. Yeah. No,
just
I get
a little, not even as a neg to the vampire lit that we love so much, but I need a little bit of spice, a little bit of variety.
Right. And maybe, perhaps, you don't have to, you can read for fun.
Right.
And you don't have to read
not
for
everything
notes.
has to be monetized and like a job.
Yeah. I'm still learning that bit.
Yeah.
Where you have hobbies that you do for fun.
Right.
And not...
How do people do that?
Can anyone answer me? Anyone, please?
Leave a comment down below. If you know how to do a work-life balance that's fulfilling to you.
Fuck me, honestly. Yeah, that would be really helpful. But honestly, that sounds like a vibe.
Yeah,
so I'm proud of you.
I'm vibing out. Thank you. How are you doing, my friend?
Mine is also basic, as you
Love
said.
that. Let's go.
But I would argue in my life also fundamental. So I don't consider this basic at all.
Sure.
It is cold and dark here in the Pacific Northwest. I don't usually say that this early in the show, so I almost triggered my fucking the end is here. But I have cold feet always.
Okay.
I've always been this person. No matter the time of year. Like it could be like it was earlier this year, it could be 100 and I still need socks on. So my basic, my blood doesn't circulate the way it's supposed to.
Sure.
So my happy thing this week is wool socks.
Ooh, yeah.
I recently got some new pairs to add to my collection because even though when I moved into this space, every single pair of socks that I had were pairs. I did not bring any single socks with me. That has changed. I somehow, they keep disappearing.
Yeah.
So I had to get some new socks. And I am also, the older I get, the more I'm realizing why some parents or guardians give socks as gifts.
Oh my God, it's so good. We really...
It's amazing.
Underestimated the power that has.
I completely agree because I hate buying socks for myself. Yeah. I don't know why. Because it's such a personal thing that you'd think yes, you need to do this. But I'm like, no, I just want someone to give these. I don't want to have to think about it. I just want them to appear.
Yeah.
But anyways, I got some new pairs. They're incredibly comfortable and very warm. That is basic, but I appreciate them very much.
It's beautiful. So, I love it.
I agree. I think that they are a good pair as well. I think reading and socks go great together.
Yeah, so. We really set up a cozy vibe, a cozy start to this new book, you know.
I completely agree, especially because the title of this one too is very cold.
It's very cold. Absolutely.
I agree. We have a couple current events, some kind of all over the map stuff this week. Now, I will say, to preface this, last week when we recorded, there was one thing that we both saw, just to take you a little bit behind the curtain.
Sure.
We had a piece of news regarding the Batman. Right. And it was not specifically about any trailer news because we didn't have anything when we recorded. It was regarding, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Lego. And Cody and I both looked at each other and we were like, fuck, this is not relevant. And as it always happens, the literal, next day, I think.
It's so disrespectful.
Or something. The fucking full trailer comes out. Why is my question. Yeah. Why did they do this to us?
Excuse me.
So, this, and I think if I'm not mistaken, also, it was at a convention.
Yeah, it was
right?
Unveiled at a convention. And
you know how we have conventions?
Right, and
during
how that
2021?
still totally still happens for some reason.
Right. Where were you when this trailer happened?
I actually don't remember where I was. I think I was just scrolling through Twitter, and it just came up immediately, and I was like, I gotta go. I
have work to do.
Yeah, sorry. My job is calling, and also the bat signal is calling me.
It's calling, right, of course.
But holy shit, is this movie gonna be so horny?
It's the horniest thing I've ever seen.
Everyone is hot, which we knew. But seeing it in 4K, seeing it with my eyes and not photos and in motion. Seeing Zoe Kravitz in that bob. Hello?
There's so much. First of all, the only negative that this trailer has is Colin Farrell. And I don't say that often because I love Colin Farrell. Right. I love him.
Yeah.
He's very distracting in this trailer.
I love that he's kind of forged a thing recently where he's like, I'm just going to like either put on a weird accent or a weird little face or something and just like kind of steal the show a little bit, or both, ideally both, and just like be a little scene stealer sometimes. It's like, Colin, you are very attractive and very good at acting. You don't have to.
And you could
do
have
this.
just been yourself.
You could have. Like, I'll never forgive the widows. Fucking whatever that was that he was doing.
Him just being his little lad self. Yeah.
His little lad.
What was he? What do you call those? You have Chicago has a weird name.
He was an alderman, right? Like a city councilman.
Thank you.
Like a politician.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was. I knew it was tree based. I didn't.
Right.
So he's incredibly distracting in this. Yeah. And it's frustrating because Colin Farrell, you would think like, oh, great, we'll ramp up the horniness of this movie. Does not. Yeah. Does not, unfortunately. Here's what I'll say. Robert giving very emo, which I love. Very.
Over like a tragic cover of a Nirvana song. Like this is just Edward.
100%.
But like a little more sad, you know.
Especially because he is doing the same cadence that he does for Edward, but just gruffer.
Yeah, just like has a little more texture to it, you know.
And that's why I'm like, ooh, bud.
Hey,
Hey, DC, you thought you were making this for the boys?
This
no, you're
is
not.
For the ladies.
You put Robert and Zoe in the same movie. You didn't make this for the boys.
Yeah. The Batman is for the girls and the gays.
Exactly.
That's
100%. There are two moments that Robert's in this trailer there's all of them are my favorite, but two that stand out. One with his very tiny sunglasses.
Honestly, a vibe. I love it. Truly. Love that look.
And then him with the equivalent of the red string, but it's on the ground in chalk.
Just like laying out all of the history and the plan.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh my god. Yeah. It's very good. It's very DC, right? It's very like Superman. It's very like rawr. But it's very clear that this was not made for men.
Yeah. No.
So
sorry, boys. Sorry,
boys. Which I don't hate that. So, thank you, Zoe, for existing.
Thank you for just being here.
Thank you for what looks like needing to be on an apple box to be near Robert and still being very small.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I'm very excited about it.
Thank you, Mr. Reeves.
Thank you.
For making cinema.
Even though from the last we heard, Robert and Matt Reeves were like in fisticuffs.
Yeah.
Apparently it seems like it's been, resolved at this point.
Sure.
Now, one of the things that has obviously been kind of discussed for a while now, but you had kind of been part of this discourse as well, was who the fuck is going to be the Joker?
Now.
And so this has kind of gone around for a while.
People be talking about.
Right. This. And bringing up lots of names.
Right. A lot of fierce competitors, for sure.
As you echoed on our Twitter account, the obvious choice is Kristen.
Like, it's not even close.
No.
Nobody else has the range.
No. No one else could. Kristen knows about this now.
She's aware. She's...
For someone who is as offline as she is, that is wild to me.
Because she's like terminally logged off,
Which good for her.
Absolutely respect.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, the dream.
Kristen was on a variety podcast.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know that she goes on I mean, I knew that she was on fucking He Shall Not Be Names podcast.
Mr.
But,
Terrible Stern.
but I didn't know, and that's like a radio show, but I didn't know that she like went on podcasts.
Right.
So, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello.
If you are available, we are always.
I know that you only have like 17 things to promote right now.
Right.
And so she went on that podcast this week, kind of obviously promoting Spencer, and they shared that all of these petitions to like get her to, quote, transform into the clown prince of crime. I'm literally dying. And here's her response. I love the energy behind that. It's really been done so well. I feel like maybe we don't traipse over, but I love that gusto. Let's figure something else out. I'm totally down to play a freaky, scary person.
Wow. Love this energy.
Not no.
Yeah.
But maybe something else.
Yeah, I just want to see her go apeshit. You know what I mean?
100%. And
like,
that's something
doesn't
that
have to be the Joker, but it can be like someone in their Joker moment, you know? Like,
right. She's been wanting to get in and kind of break into that universe for a long time now.
Right.
And, you know, couldn't because of shitty directors.
Right.
So, I think that it doesn't have to be the Joker, but I would love to see it. I would love to see it happen. So,
also, if Casey was the Joker, the Batman would not be alive.
No.
The Joker would win in that little fisticuffs, little fight.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
I completely agree. Would you like to let the folks know about a little reunion that was confirmed, did happen this past week?
Did confirm hot news, hot breaking news.
Hot people, hot news.
Hot people, hot news.
Hot ones.
Yes, they were on Hot Ones now.
I would die.
Yeah. We got a little Twilight reunion up in here. Our faves, Ashley Greene and Kellen Lutz.
I love them.
Vibing.
Looking
together.
Great.
Looking so cute. Just like really channeling the vibe of their past selves in a very cute way. And
it's very pure.
It's pure. They're in like their little baseball fits. And it's lovely. I love
it.
It is. Kellen looks great.
Kellen looks ready to ball out at any point.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And I am happy for them. They look happy. They look glowing. Love that.
Yeah. They're vibing. They are smiling.
I'm personally just interested in what this little like reunion publicity tour that Kellen is doing is all about. Because not just this, which was unexpected, but great. Love it. Yeah. And then our unofficial intern, Taylor Browntown Lautner, thank you.
Yes.
As of like an hour ago, I feel like, sent us an Instagram post that Kellen posted. And he was like, what up? I'm in St. Helens. Gonna be taking photos at Halloween Town. I wasn't in Halloween Town, but like I'm gonna be celebrating this. And it's like, sir, I love this for you, but what are you doing?
Yeah, what is this? Especially because this photo, the baseball photo, is for this parody YouTube channel called Emo's Not Dead.
Oh my God.
Which looks like, you know, that era of YouTube that was like shit people say, like that kind of vibe, you know, which is like the worst part of the internet for a long time. It was terrible. But in 2021, so that's cool that is.
What is he like preemptively apologizing for with these? What is he trying to cover up?
What's going on?
I have questions. Yeah. I don't trust. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I'm scared. What does he have planned?
Right, exactly.
What is he going to do?
I don't know who to trust, and I don't think that it's him in this moment.
Yeah.
This last piece of news is more so just an announcement, a warning, perhaps?
A threat.
A threat. As you all might be aware at this point, Netflix has released the third season of You.
She's here. She's home.
She's here. And from reports that we have seen, it's shockingly good, question mark?
Who would have thought?
Not me.
Not me when we recorded last week, that's for sure.
Nope, not me. When we, God, it must have been months ago, did our survey of folks, y'all were very clear about no you content on the main feed.
Yeah.
So we have listened. We are going to be covering season
we here
3
for
of
you.
Oh, fuck you, first of all.
Just got to get every media property in this podcast.
Please, for real. And so we're covering the 3rd season of You as a bonus Jonas.
Yes.
This month. And so I'm very excited.
Ready.
I'm only a couple episodes in, and it's wild.
Yeah.
So,
and if you are not a part of the Patreon fam at that level, you get that episode plus a fuck ton of
hours
bonus episodes we've done previously, and you get a cool little Vampire Academy name that we say on the show. So lots of fun things there for you.
Lots of stuff. We have a listener question here.
Great.
This email is titled Ferrero Rocher FAQ page. Now, I do keep forgetting that we call Rochelle Mead Ferrero Rocher, but that's okay. This is from Danny. Danny says, "Hello, friends. I just need you to look at the FAQ page for Ferrero Rocher's books. Mm-hmm. I don't know why the question about the book covers for Vampire Academy made me laugh, but this woman sounds like she is over getting asked this. Hope you're having a good week. Best, Danny." Now, Danny did include a screenshot for this specific question, but I did include the whole FAQ on here as well.
I love that.
So it seems like the specific question here is who's on the covers of the Vampire Academy books. So would you like to read Ferrero Rocher's response for the class?
Absolutely. Okay. Let me get this little preface paragraph up in here, just to get a little background.
Great.
Covers are designed by a book company's art department and are something I have little say about. Love how pointed it is from the jump. Since everyone has different ideas about how characters look, the art department's ideas may not quite match the book's description or your ideas. Ooh. Or the art department may not even read the book. So here's my best guess. Okay. Vampire Academy. We got Rose. Easy. Classic. Love it.
Great.
Frostbite. The girl is Rose, and the guy is a mystery even to me. Without the red eyes, he'd be Christian. He's too young to be Isaiah. Shadow Kiss. Bliss and Dimitri are on the old version. Rose is supposed to be on the new one. Blood Promise has Rose. Spiritbound has Rose and just a couple questions. So who can say? And then Rose is on Last Sacrifice. These covers, though, I they're my favorite, like, trashy book covers. They're so good. They're like the Gossip Girl of, like, book covers.
Just gonna quickly...
Not the new one. Like, try to find the old ones, because the new ones, I think the new ones are the same. They just have, like, a color overlay on them. The OG, like, just the regular colors that they're on are just, like, that's camp. That's looking camp right in the eye, baby. That's...
Because the... ones that I have seen are just the ones where it's like it has the big ass V and A, and then in the background are the people. Oh my god!
I know. I remember I the Blood Promise one specifically is like burned into my memory for some reason. Like I close my eyes and it's there. You know, I think if I still have that, I think that is signed by Rochelle Mead. So that
with like. The chocolate of a Ferrero Rocher.
Right, just like a little accent of Ferrero Rocher. Because, you know, in another life, I did go to a signing at one point. Way later than those books were popular, too. Like, I think she had other books, and I was like, hey, I like Vampire Academy. Can you sign this?
I bet that's how every person that likes the host feels when they go to see Stephanie Meyer. They're like, hey, I... like, I'm a total stan for the chemist. And she's like, sorry, what?
Yeah, who are you? Yeah.
Did someone pay you to say that to me?
Yeah. And like the gates on them are so funny.
There's so much happening. I need to know who designed these immediately. You have unlocked so much.
Yeah.
This is so important. Thank you.
Also, a fun tidbit on this, while we're just deep in this treasure trove right now. Apparently, Frostbite and Shadow Kiss were never available in hardcover and never will be. Which is wild because those are two, like, the second and third books. So they have hardcovers for the first and the last three. So if someone, like, has a hardcover set, they will have the middle two.
Ew. Why do they do that?
That's crazy. What?
I don't like that.
Yeah.
That sounds like a crime.
Yeah. Book publishing. What's up with that?
Right. I don't...
Wild in.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I know that's gotta bother so many people. Mm-hmm. And even as someone who does not plan to have physical copies of these books, like, that's criminal. Why would you make something that's going to be a box set if they're not going to all be one type of book?
It's fucked up.
Knock it off. Okay. We have a question here from Michaela. Would you like to share it with the class?
Absolutely. Okay.
This is a very strong sleepover question.
Yeah, seriously. The sleepover vibes are here. They're present. Michaela asks, if you could only choose one, which character from Vampire Academy would you have wanted as your high school bestie?
Oh. The Raven.
Yeah. Okay. Honestly. I mean, knowing me and, like, my parasocial relationships with my teachers and stuff, like, Miss Carp would definitely be, like, the one I'm projecting to, you know what I mean? Like, she's very much like the English teacher you latched onto as a child, being like, this is what friendship is. This is, yes,
yeah.
This is good.
Same with those parasocial relationships, but I took it a step farther that I became that.
Yes, you've committed to the bit impressively so that you just became that emotional support teacher. Right.
That I was like, I'll be happy if I become that. And then I was like, oh, no. Yeah. No. Yes, I think that Carp is the obvious answer. The other one that immediately comes to mind for me is... in the first book, she wasn't in the movie, but in the first book, Dimitri had that other guardian.
Oh, yeah.
Who saw Kristen, like, die in the woods and was like, I can't deal with this.
I can't handle this.
She sounded pretty badass.
Yeah.
That or... I mean, Kristen, I guess.
Yeah,
he's, like, pretty snarky.
Yeah, and he can fuck shit up for you, for your honor, you know? Which is fun.
Yeah, he sounds like he would be fun to, like, sit next to you in class and just, like, fuck stuff up.
Yeah, totally.
Which would be a blast.
Yeah.
Michaela, it's rude for me that you asked this question, but you did not say what yours was. So I would like to know. Yeah, these questions have to be a two-way street, y'all. We got it. Right, exactly. You can't just, like, ask us and then not say what yours was. So. Yeah. Okay. So, this fucking book, Frostbite.
New book, baby. We're here. Frostbite. New book. Get your socks on and many layers of coats and gloves because it's going to get chilly up in here. You know it's going to take a fucking turn, that's for sure. Yes. So, when we... Here's the thing. I know that second books are tough. You gotta lay some groundwork for sure. You gotta lay some groundwork. I know that it's tough, right? Because authors know that, like, sometimes you pick up a second book and you don't know that it's a second book. Yeah. And so you're like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'll just start this. And it's like, what is this? What is this world building? Could you briefly... let folks know what this prologue is, because this doesn't feel anything like the Rose that we know from the first book. It's literally, it feels like it's Rochelle stepping in here being like, hey guys, let me just catch you up on what you missed on Glee here. And let me just, beat by beat, tell you everything that happened in the last book. Which, like, to some extent I appreciate, because you kind of have to, like, it's probably been a long time since the last person, if they're getting it the day it was released or something, like since they've read it, maybe there's like a little bit of distance there. But and also I think it's helpful in the same way that like the intro to the movie was really good in like laying that out. I think some of this would have made sense for even the intro of fucking Vampire Academy. And
I completely agree.
Like the voice is definitely weird, like you said. Like it does feel. It's more just like Rose in like a real narrator voice being like, "Hey guys,
hey guys."
I know a thing or two, and I've kind of lived a life. So let me tell you what my year's been like. And
I'm a junior now. Well, I think she was a junior before, so
right. And it's just like feels weird, like definitely out of place, and not necessary. Like I think there are some things that are like, yes, some big moments. Yes, we get all the list of stuff, we get everything that happened leading up to this book, whatever, but it's like we don't have to do every plot point that happens.
Especially because some of this she's very concise in explaining the world building. This fucking prologue, not all of it, but this prologue would have been so much more helpful in the first book.
Seriously, it's wild that this was in this book, because maybe she got some feedback after book 1 and was like, hey, maybe it takes a little too long to actually understand what the fuck is going on here.
Right.
But
here's the thing. I was like, I was giving her some grace when I was reading this, but now I just pulled this up. And Vampire Academy, the book, came out in 2007. Mm-hmm. Frostbite came out in 2008.
Okay, well.
So, yeah, if I was a 6th grader reading this, I'd be like, yeah, like, what's time? But also, if I was reading this and I was, like, hyper-fixating on it at the time, then I'd be like, you don't need to explain this to me.
Right. It's like those previously ons, for a show that you've been watching.
Yeah.
Like the whole season of in one day. You're like, I get it. I know what's going on. I've been here.
I know this show better than you do. So stop it.
You can't tell me anything. I don't know.
Exactly. Especially the part where it ends too and it's like, hey, no one said high school is easy. It's like, girl.
like needle drop.
We needed this last time.
Yeah.
Stop.
It's like a perfect intro for a first book.
I agree.
And it's very weird in the sequel.
It is. What? It's wild. Anyways.
So after that little history lesson.
So it's like, hey, I'm Rose. Life's like so weird. I'm super grown now. And I know everything. By the way, this book starts like maybe 2-3 weeks after.
Right. It's not like a lot has changed,
No.
We're pretty much in the same headspace, same situation going on here. But yeah, this book starts with we getting a little bit of scary shit going on of Lissa being like, I think my pills don't work anymore.
The nightmare scenario.
Yeah, because that's the thing keeping her out of the big bad, which is her brain.
Same,
and the spirit, and the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, that's, first of all, scary.
Yeah.
So, not good, Liz. It's understandable that Rose is like, are you good?
Right. Should we talk to someone? Like, are you feeling the spirit inside you? Like, what?
It's definitely a mood that Rose has been reading, like, psychiatry textbooks.
Yeah.
And is, like, trying to figure this out. I thought that was very pure. But also, like, when does she have the time?
I know. Yeah. Now that she knows what a library is and how to use one, like, she's just, like, she picks up, like, the DSL or some shit. It's like, let me just like, armchair diagnose my best friend and my bond babe.
Rose is figuring out, like, okay, DSM-5, let's go. Let's figure this out.
Right, yeah.
I thought that was great. But it also doesn't help, right? Because this starts off kind of, which I appreciate. It starts off very similarly to the first book of, like, we're right in it. Mm-hmm. Rose has got fucking, what has she got? She's got, like, an exam that day. That Lissa doesn't have because it's for her, like, guardianship or whatever.
It's for guardians only?
Guardians only.
So, Rose is gonna take this test, but it's... Uh-oh.
But it's the worst kind, right? It's the kind that you can't really study for.
Right, because it's not like a test. It's like an event, like an experience.
Yeah, she said
trial.
it's kind of like a trial. Yeah, like an interview. Like it's something that you can't really prepare for.
Yeah. And she like meets up with Dimitri outside, and she gets so pissed that he's like next to a Honda Pilot, which is so funny because she's like, man, I kind of thought we were going to be going out in style here. Like, this is kind of
She wanted
boring.
a Porsche, and it's like, ma'am,
right.
you're in Montana.
It's like, yeah, what do you think this test is? This is not, you get to have a little road trip, but they do have a little road trip.
They have a long road trip.
They have a long road trip, but she also is like, it's not as long as I wanted to. And I'm like, how long do you think, even with someone you are crushing on, do you think you could physically and emotionally handle being trapped in a car with? Like, 5 hours seems like pushing it.
Especially when you've only known him for, theoretically, like, 2 months?
Right.
Maybe?
Yeah, max, for sure.
That's 5 hours is...
That's the test right there. That's the test. Like,
I completely agree.
Can you be in a car for 5 hours with someone and not try to murder them?
Especially when this book is out in like 2000, like the universe it's in is like 2005, 2006.
Right.
And they're still listening to the radio station. Like, you don't have really anything to preoccupy yourself other than talking.
Yeah, they can't be on TikTok.
No. No, you don't have your phone. You can't just like shit post on Twitter and be like, with my crush, AMA, like, should I fart? Like, what? Like,
should I tell him I like him? Yes, no?
If I get 15 likes, I'll tell him I like him.
Right. She's on Yik Yak being like,
stop.
Sorry, hold on. Can you imagine the Vampire Academy Yik Yak?
Oh my God. The way that they would have found Mia and Natalie so much faster.
Oh my God, yeah. That would have been, because they would have been dropping hints too, because they want to be found, you know. They're just kind of being like, oop, you know, here it is.
The whole plot would have been completely, like, obliterated.
Yeah, there's no shot. No.
Same thing, too, off that vein, because when I think about Yik Yak, I think about, like, my very end of my bachelor's degree.
Right.
Do you think that they are allowed to dress up for Halloween on... Like, at St. Vladimir's?
At St. Vladimir's? I would hope so. But
do you think that it's
know.
like, do you get in trouble if you dress up as a vampire? Like, is that...
Yeah, it's like, it's basically like the equivalent of showing up in like a "this is my costume" t-shirt, you know? And
right.
Like, come on, have fun with this.
Like, if you go and you buy those, like, fake fangs, those, like, plastic ones, then Kurova's like, you need to knock that off. You need to respect our culture.
Right. It's Hallows Eve, okay?
Or if someone comes as, like, a werewolf, do you, like, get in massive trouble?
Right, they're like, yeah, because I guess how many of these things are actually real in this universe?
I don't know.
Is it too traumatizing to, like, be, like, a werewolf or, like, a Psyhound or something for Halloween?
Oh, my God. Yeah, like, if someone comes as a Psyhound, they're like, that's inappropriate.
Yeah, you can't do that here.
Mason,
have some respect.
Stop it.
Right.
People have died from those.
Mason, stop running around in a Psyhound costume on all fours, sir.
Stop subjecting us to your fucking kinks, Mason. It's not a joke, okay? Yeah. That's our culture. Our culture's, like,
getting
I don't know.
Kink shamed at the Vampire Academy Halloween party.
Yeah, I don't know. Or, like, if someone comes as, like, a ghost, they're like, hello? Like, can you... Right.
But
like,
it's also like, real? What else? Yeah, it's a great question. Also, what,
in life and also this book.
If they do dress up for Halloween, like, what else is there? Because, like, it's not like they have connections to pop culture. Like, they have no pop culture references, you know? So it's like they can't even do, if they didn't want to do, like, a monster or, like, something that could theoretically be real in Vampire Academy land, like, what else is there?
That's truly the worst, because I know that Kristen had said that he went off to, like, live with his aunt.
Right.
And so, like, maybe he knows what, like, fucking SpongeBob is. And so maybe he, like, comes back and, like, SpongeBob or,
it would literally
like, a One
Kristen,
Tree Hill
Rose,
joke.
and Lissa, like, doing fun, like, jaunts from their, like, little, like, non-Vampire Academy stints, right? And, like, having little pop culture focused things. And everyone being like, who are you? Why are you wearing people clothes? And it's like, what? No. Respect the craft. You just don't know.
Yeah. Why are you wearing flip-flops and your hair's gelled? Why are you wearing, what do you said those were Bermuda shorts? You think this is a joke? We're in Montana. That's not funny.
They all go as Jersey Shore for Halloween. And everyone's so confused. I was like, what is this?
You think that's funny? Why do you think that's funny? Because they're Italian?
Right.
Wow, okay, sure.
Yeah, the Italian vampire student body is like, how dare you? How dare you? Injustice.
That's truly the worst. Because, like, this sound, I don't know, because we haven't gotten here yet, but, like, well, that's not true, because they do mention at some point, I think in the second chapter, that some of these people go home for the holidays. Mm-hmm. And so, if they do, and any of these people have connections to the outside world,
right?
And they do have connections to, like, pop culture, but they bring it back to the academy. It's like, so? Like, what does that mean? You have no... That doesn't
this is contraband.
Yeah, it doesn't give you any social currency, which is
nobody's
wild.
really going to get it, which is the whole point of Halloween, is having people respect you and your costume.
God, that's wild.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Rochelle, please answer our questions.
Because now, like, I really want to know that if someone came dressed up as, like, Nosferatu, would Dimitri be like, that's disrespectful of me?
That's actually cultural appropriation.
Fuck. I need answers immediately. Anyways. So, during this ride, Dimitri's like, yeah, so we're going to go see my friend.
My friend Art.
My friend Art.
My main squeeze.
He's my BFF. His name's Arthur.
He's kind of like the most badass dude you've ever heard of. And he's my bestie, so...
Which makes Rose, like, die a little.
She's, like, horny for it.
She can't imagine anyone being more of a legend than Dimitri.
Right.
Which, valid, right? Because it's hard for your brain to expand at 17.
Right. Yeah.
But they're going to go see him... And he lives in this, like, small town or whatever.
Yeah, this little cottage.
Yeah, and he is going to do the trial with her.
Right.
So, rip for her.
Right. She's still feeling a little horny for Mr. Dimitri.
Which can only be stopped by... They do pause for a little bit at, like, a 24-hour diner.
Oh, yeah.
So that does help her a little.
Just like
you gotta have food in your stomach.
Right. You gotta, bulk up for this test, this exam.
You gotta have your carbs.
For big fight-ins,
Right. And then they do stop to get gas. Because again, 5 hours.
Right.
No shade to Honda pilots, but you gotta need fuel. So.
Yeah. Right. There's this cute little moment where she, like, slips on some ice, and Dimitri's like,
oh, yeah.
Let me save you. And she's like, wow. Like, just like that last time when he kind of saved me from when I fell on my ass. Like, but now it's romantic, kind of, but, like, secretly.
Yeah. Charlie Swan could never.
Yeah, Charlie Swan, who?
Yeah. Charlie Swan just lets people fall on ice. Dimitri, no.
Yeah, Dimitri would never.
Dimitri, nope.
He's a Russian gentleman, a gentle Conrad.
He's a fucking gentleman in a cowboy duster.
That's what's up.
That's the goals. Here's the problem immediately starts though when she does almost fall on her ass in the snow, is because Rose is like, damn, we're in the middle of fucking Montana. Place in the middle of nowhere. There's snow everywhere.
Right.
Haven't these people ever heard of, like, putting salt on the sidewalk? Like, what the fuck's wrong with these people? They knew we were coming. That's so rude.
Like, obviously, we were coming for this big test. Show some respect.
The least they could have done is, like, shovel out the sidewalk, put some salt down. Like, what the fuck is wrong with these people?
Right.
Like,
this art guy seems like a real, like, shithead.
I know.
Disrespectful.
Like, is this the trial? What the fuck is wrong with this person?
Yeah.
And then Dimitri's like, wait a fucking second.
Something is terribly wrong.
Something's wrong. I know this man. He has manners.
Yeah. Like, yeah, if there's one thing I know about Art, he will always shovel a sidewalk in Montana.
Right.
Something must be wrong.
And he wasn't wrong.
Yes. Because,
this turned into fucking a CSI scene real quickly.
Murder. We're on a crime scene. Because Dimitri's like, go wait in the car. And she's like, no.
She's like, sure, wink.
She's like, sure. And then like waits like maybe 9.5 seconds and then just runs after him. And
to be fair.
Yes.
To be fair, it's like noon. I think almost exactly noon.
Sure.
And so Rose is like telling herself like, okay, it's noon. It's the sun's highest point of the day. Mm-hmm. If something's bad, the Strigoi can't be out in sunlight.
Yeah.
So I don't need to be afraid of like dying from them. Just Dimitri's gonna fucking snap my neck when he finds out I'm not listening to him.
Yeah. And then she finds a silver stake in the ground,
which is not good.
Not good, not ideal. And she's also kind of like, wow, stakes are kind of cool. Like, Dimitri never lets me have one for some reason. But holding in my hands is very hot to me, and I do like this power. And
like right above her head is like, bing, added to inventory. Like
exactly. It's like, you've gained 1 silver stake.
She's like, damn, that was really lucky. Anyways.
Yeah. Anyways, back to my day. I'm sure nothing else will happen.
She's like literally not suspicious about it at all. She's like,
she's
that was
chilling
weird.
outside, being like, all right, it's not as tidy, maybe perhaps as I would like, but like, it's kind of cool. Just
cool
chilling.
Trial.
I got my steak. I think maybe she's like, I did it. This was the test. I found the thing they were hiding from me, and this is like a present.
Survived the ice, found my steak. Right. Cool trial.
I'm doing great so far. I think I'm crushing this, actually.
Until she goes, like, I think she walks back. She's like going from the back of the house inside, like through the patio. And everything is good for her. She's like, yes, nailing this trial, killing it. Everything's great.
Right.
And when she goes into the living room, like from the back of the house in, is like, oh, there's dead bodies here.
Yeah. So.
There's supposed to be, as we find out in like a little bit, there's supposed to be like 7 people. And there's supposed to be like a shit ton of guardians. So like this place should be very busy.
Yeah, packed, bumping.
And the house is quiet. And so when she finds this person, naturally, it takes her a beat. And then, understandably, because I think this is like her first time with like death this close.
Right, totally.
Like a scream starts to like, she's like about to start screaming. Understandable. Yeah. Until Dimitri's like, comes up behind her.
She gets a whiff of that sweet aftershave. She's like, he's here.
Dimitri should not have done this, but I understand why he did it. He like came up behind her and like put his gloved hand like over her mouth.
Yeah, Dimitri, come on.
Like, Dimitri, dude.
Maybe not the best thing to do with someone who's witnessed many dead bodies in front of her and thinks that maybe she could be dead next. Like,
exactly. It seems like that only thing that had calmed her down, right, is, as you mentioned, like his aftershave, which from the way that she describes it and says it so often must be incredibly potent.
I'm sure it's so strong. I'm sure everyone fucking hates being around him. Like,
yeah. It's got to be the most potent thing because they're like, that's why they say he's a legend, is because he smells so strong.
Right. Yeah,
they're just like, this dude
from a mile away. This aftershave is so strong. This dude is 6'8", wears a duster everywhere he goes, and he reeks of aftershave. His whole body feels like it's covered in aftershave.
He dips that duster in aftershave. He has a trail of his scent wherever he goes.
Yeah, it's like it makes it feel better. I don't know. It's comfort that way.
Anyways, he's like, first of all, you need to start fucking listening to me. You're gonna get yourself killed. Yeah. Second of all, damn, this sucks, dude.
Yeah. Hey, that was my man. That was my friend Art, my best bud.
Yeah. It's not good in here.
Yeah. The vibes are off for sure.
Vibes are off.
Yeah.
And I think they say it's been like at least 2 days.
Yeah.
That they start to realize like it's been
like
a
the
couple
blood's
days.
all dried and stuff, and it like definitely smells like they've like kind of been rotting a little bit.
Yeah. And when they came in, like there was fresh snow, like there was no visible like trace of people.
Anything. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you would think with that many people, there should be something.
Right.
And there's not. So that's not good. And the other thing too is I think when Rose finally says, like, oh, hey, I found loot, Dimitri's like, dude, you can't, first of all, don't do that.
You can't just grab stakes around the place and take them
also
as yours.
Realizes, like, there's something wrong with the silver stake. Like, something has been fucked with on there, which is not good. And I think it was, like, all of the silver stakes, apparently.
They're like all
we
the
knew
elements. Yeah, we all knew this. We're Vampire Academy scholars.
We knew this.
They're forged with the elements.
Yes, of course, obviously.
Duh.
And apparently this one in particular, those like wards that were keeping it like magic had faded on there, which was not good.
Yeah.
So, Rose is starting to realize on here, apparently, that, and I'm still a little bit confused about this part, but, like, Rose and Dimitri apparently come to the conclusion that, like, the way that this happened, how so many Moroi and Guardians died, was because there are humans that are helping this Dragoi.
Right. Which is usually not a thing that happens.
Yeah, that's, like, not, that does not happen.
Par for the course. It's a little bit of a weird thing. Yeah, right. I guess Strigoi cannot hold a stake, right?
Which makes sense. Like,
because it's like, that's the thing that you got killed by. You can't touch it.
Yeah, I can understand that lore of, like, it being silver and also it's warded against.
Right.
But apparently and also it being, like, it's light out, and also how would that many people like, you would have to have someone on the inside, I guess.
There'd have to be a whole plan,
right?
People working together.
Yeah,
and so species.
So it seems sus, and that's.
But like, great trial, good test.
Yeah,
very good.
Which sucks, right? Because Rose was like, "Damn, we just drove all this way out here. I guess we can't do my test."
Right.
Shit.
And I just witnessed many dead bodies.
Many
traumatized forever.
The chapter 2 though is wild.
Yes.
Like, I mean, all of this is wild, but like, what?
Dimitri calls his boys. He's like, all right, I gotta get a team up in here. I gotta get my boys up in here.
My SWAT boys.
Get my SWAT boys, assess the situation. And Rose being like, clearly very traumatized, being like, I gotta stay tough. I gotta be cool and collected. It's like, Rose, you can freak out if you want to. That is a very reasonable response to seeing, like, 7 dead
Lots of dead people. Yeah.
Lots of dead people,
But
so guardians come up and,
Dimitri seems to, like, want Rose to see how this is, like, done, which I found interesting.
Right. It's kind of like peeling back, like, the process, Because it's like, because, like, the SWAT team are there, right? But before they even, like, get really into doing it, because Rose is like, how would this even happen? Like, this doesn't make any sense, right?
Right.
And so Dimitri's like, well, how would it happen? Maybe this is a test. How about you tell me, Rose? And Rose is like, motherfucker, I'm trying to process this.
There's a lot happening. Dimitri, can you, for once, stop asking questions and just tell me a straight answer?
Yeah.
But he will not.
It's like, you've walked around the house. There's points of entry. Let me do some math. Figure it out.
This dude. I swear to God.
This fucking guy. He loves this way of teaching, too. Where it's
God. It's, like, totally what gets him off.
Right. It's the same thing with the running shit, where it's like, this will be useful to you later. You'll see. And it's like, man.
And he's not wrong.
He isn't. But it is very, I'm sure, very annoying for Rose to be like, God, can you tell me things directly?
I know.
Please.
Yeah. It pisses me off just reading it, and I know it would piss me off if I was there. Too. Yeah. So this is interesting. Mm-hmm. And I don't blame him for wanting her to know this, because I think that, like, why else would Rose have this experience? Like, if she's already here, I think it's better for her to understand how this happened, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
especially because the fact that it seems like, from what they're understanding, not just the two of them, but also like the Guardian SWAT team or whatever the fuck they're called, are starting to confirm their suspicion that there are humans that are working with like a massive group of Strigoi.
Yeah.
Which is not good.
No.
That's dangerous. That kind of goes against, it seems like, everything that they've ever suspected.
Like, hey, humans, this ain't your business. Get out of here. What are you doing?
Right. And one of the things that they hadn't mentioned in the first chapter, because I think understandably Rose and Dimitri were focused more on like that main room, is that there was writing in blood, because fucking of course, on, I think like on a mirror.
Yeah, it's a mirror.
Referencing, obviously, because it's all has to come back to the royal family. This family that Art and his other guardians were talking about, like, this was a royal family, and that the Strigoi seem to be going after other royal families too.
Yeah, it's like they're all targeting, trying to like destabilize the royal hierarchy, right? So there's not like these big fights against the Strigoi, so they can seize power or whatever. Yeah, and it's like, what if we just wipe out a whole line right now and keep doing that forever? Which like makes Rose freak out, because it's like, oh, Lissa's the only one left of her line, and she's very vulnerable.
I think what's sus is like, and Rose is starting to put this together, which since she's confused, it's a little bit hard to follow as a reader, but like the Moroi blood, she says, is what empowers the Strigoi. It's what makes them stronger, not just like blood in general, but specifically like magic blood. But if they're focusing on the royal families, what is the, like, when all of them are gone, are they just like cool anarchy? Like, what is the
what's the
plan?
Yeah, right.
What's the goal there? So, and understandably, like, Rose is like, I don't know, like, we got to figure this out. She's just mainly worried about Lissa because of the fact that, like, they were able to wipe out a whole most of a whole family at once, and she is just one person,
just the
school.
one. Yeah.
Right. So, yikes. That's not good. When they get back to the school, though, it's been like at least 12 hours. It's been a long ass time. But somehow it seems like everybody already knows.
This is the most gossipy school in the whole world. It's truly iconic how fast news spreads around here. And it's funny too, because everyone's like talking about it and shit, and then Rose is like, yeah, that shit was real. I actually was there, so that's my day, so that's cool. I'm feeling great about it. Everyone's like, what? And she's like, yeah, not really a flex, just traumatizing, but I can confirm that it was terrible and I hated it.
I loved this bit.
Yeah, it's so good.
I think I don't know why. I think it's primarily because she wants to go and find Lissa. But she goes into the library, I think. And because she knows that's where Lissa will be, because she's with Kristen.
Right.
And
they're smacking lips in the library, as they do.
Yeah, because sure, that's allowed. And these two are like laying on each other in the library. Like, hello, is that allowed?
Yeah, where's the librarian?
Where's the librarian? These two
are
are in
rules?
Like the fucking back of the library, laying on each other, not reading.
No.
And Lissa's like, hey, are you good? And Rose is like, hey, are you good?
Right.
And that's where Rose is like, so everything that you're talking about, can confirm I was there. Yeah. And Christian's like, so tell me everything.
Right. That's so cool.
Poor Rose. She's like, actually, I know.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want to talk about it.
Go read it on whatever forum you found.
Right. If you wanted to see it, you could have just hijacked the back of the car like you did last time.
Christian. Right, exactly.
You're never invited to anything fun, Kristen.
Fuck you, Christian. One thing I hadn't really thought about, which it sounds like was like immediately what Lissa went to, was that the fear that this spread when all of this gossip went to is that the ramifications of this are going to like mess up the holiday visits, because it sounds like we're almost at like we are at the winter time, because
Like
they just
break,
had that
yeah. Mm-hmm.
they just had that like holiday dance,
Right.
but all of the holiday visits are going to be kind of like fucked from this, because people are going to be like scared of,
right,
you
if they're
know,
all
what's
in
gonna
one
happen.
congregate setting too, like that puts
Right.
them a big target, you know.
Massive. So Liz is thinking anyways that like there's going to be quite a few families that are staying separate because they don't want to put a risk on each other.
Yeah. I think it's funny too, this one moment where she's like, yeah, like the Royals and the Moroi kind of like have their own way of fighting, where they're just like doing like passive aggressive shit, where it's like
Right.
they're doing words and political alliances, and she's like, honestly, I prefer the more direct method of hitting and kicking, and I just love it. I'm like, there's Rose, there she is, I love it.
There's my girl. I missed her.
There she is.
But yeah, I definitely felt bad for her at the end of this, because it's one of the times where Lissa's like, hey, you good?
Right.
Rose is definitely not good, but she doesn't want to be around her, Lissa and Kristen just like fucking making out.
Yeah, she doesn't want to be a third wheel and be the bad time in that situation, you know?
And also
like,
has just been up for a really long time, super
she's
exhausted,
tired. Yeah.
traumatized, just needs to chill out for a little bit. And does every other social situation at this point is just going to be talking about that gossip, and she does not want to be involved in that.
Exactly.
So
It's like, y'all do your horny library shit.
yeah,
Have fun. I need to go to bed.
I need to get out of here.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is a wild way to start, obviously.
Yeah. We've already got an inciting incident going on.
And definitely seems to confirm a little bit of how the movie ended, which I'm surprised by, but I think I'll be curious to see what chapters 3 and 4 have to
in
say.
store for us. Yeah.
Yeah. We have some fantastic patrons
Fuck yeah, we do.
to thank. Would you like to start us off?
Absolutely. Thank you to Katie Black.
Ooh. Thank you to Kylie Minty. Oh.
Thank you to Alex Dornan.
Ooh. Thank you to Carrie Goldberg.
Ow. Yeah. Thank you to Mickey Meyer.
Ooh. Thank you to Rebecca Cullen.
Thank you to Mulch Gray. Mulch.
Thank you to our unofficial intern, Taylor Brown, Town, Lautner.
Yeah. Shout out to Nay Swan.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Thank you to Jasmine Anastasia.
Oh. Thank you to Cassandra Bomer.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Thank you to Megan Pattinson.
Thank you to Cassandra O'Shea.
O'Shea.
Ooh. O'Shea.
Thank you to Rachel Seeker.
Ooh. Yes. Thank you to Ashley Dragomir. Ooh.
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 Thank you to Alexandra Ozera.
Ooh. Yeah. Thank you to Aaron Weber.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Thank you to Clara Belikov.
Ooh. Comrade. Yes. Shout out Maddie Facinelli.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Thank you to Genevieve Morgan.
Thank you to my mom, your mom,
Oh.
all of our moms,
Oh.
Kelly Beck.
Ooh. Thank you to Sophia Salinger.
Ooh. Thank you to India Peach.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Thank you to Laura 40.
Ooh. Ooh. And last but not least, thank you to Abby Penn.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I have a fan fiction for you
Thank God.
that was sent in by our unofficial intern, Taylor Brown Town Lautner.
Hell yeah. The GOAT.
This was written by user Don't Kill the Dream.
Great.
And this is titled Ranch Retreat.
Yeah.
When I first read that, I thought that it was the condiment. It is not, so don't get your hopes up.
Yeah.
This is from the Twilight and Hannah Montana crossover section. So the summary of this is Edward Cullen, former actor, ladies' man and stuck-up LA star, is sent to his best friend's, Jasper, sister's ranch in Arizona in an attempt to change his way. He is set on staying the same, and no one can change his mind until he meets a mysterious girl who might just have been the antidote to his ways. Wow. I was suggested to read chapter 2. So that is where I'm starting. This is Bella's point of view.
Love it.
Okay. So, I'm Bella Swan, 22, a normal girl who lives on a ranch with my best friend Rosalie, who's 24, and our new helping hand Alice, who's 23. We don't do lessons, we just own it, and it's the best thing I could dream of. I just got in from taking blue jeans for a walk when Rose was waiting for me at the barn. Hey Rose, what's up? Well, I have good news. Whenever Rose or Alice say they have good news, I don't trust them. They like girly stuff, like shopping, makeup, cuticle care, and all that shit. Whereas I prefer to spend Friday night in with a pizza, chocolate cake, and ice cream, watching a good movie or going writing. Rose, please tell me this good news. This is good news that I will enjoy. Oh, believe me, it is. She was almost jumping up and down. Well, you know, my brother, how could I forget? We were all best friends in school. I had known Jasper and Rose all through school. They were with me when my parents died, and I almost died in a car crash when I was 16. Since then, I had lived with them and their family. My brother Emmett moved away a few months after he turned 26 and lives in New York. He says he's coming to visit in a few days, and if any more good news comes, I might just explode with happiness. Well, Rose was deliberately dragging this on to annoy me. Get on with it, Rose. This is a side note. This is all in one word. It's all crushed together.
Love that.
Just so you know this. Okay.
Great.
He's coming to stay with us for a month with his friend Edward. She said this way too quickly for me to understand and walked away. Rose. End scene.
Wow. I love a fan fiction that just says, women be shopping, you know? Women be shopping.
You know, women, they be shopping.
You know. You know. I love that. Very fun. Wow.
So there's a lot happening there. But there's also a lot of chapters. So if you want to dig into that universe, you're welcome to. As usual, Taylor sends in universes that I couldn't possibly imagine on my own. But that's okay. Get your Halloween costumes ready this week to enjoy. I will be going as Wool Socks. Cody will be going as Books.
Yes, I will be Book.
You will be Book. And as we say here in the Pacific Northwest,
get bit.
And get whipped and read.
Ooh, well
be
read.
Literate.
Yes.
Yeah, get well read.
Hell yeah.
Into the Twilight is an Earbud Media production. You can follow us on Twitter at Into the Twilight or on TikTok at Into the Twilight Show. You can find me at Cody Corral on Twitter and Allie at Alexandria Does. And you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Into the Twilight. We have merch, so much stuff. All those links are in the episode description. And make sure to rate and review us on your favorite podcast hosting platform. It really helps the show. Thanks. Bye.
You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media, audio for everyone.